The Oregon legislator leaves the state, and Super Tuesday becomes a victory for crazy sleepy Uncle Joe. Hello, my name is Todd. I thank you very much for tuning into the Teal Jack channel. I greatly appreciate it. And what I'm discussing today has to do with some events that took place over the last couple weeks and last week. And that is the Oregon State Legislature has left the state. And in my opinion, that is a good thing. And I am so grateful that the Republicans of the Oregon State Legislature fled the state. The Democrats stayed by. They want to continue to pass bills that would destroy our lives and potentially destroy our economy. And so the Republicans up and left. That's a good thing, because that means the bills can't be voted upon. And it looks like they're going to stay away until the close of the session, which means those bills basically become dead and they'll have to start all over again. And that is a good thing, because the last thing the Oregon State needs is this cap and trade bill, which I would refer to as a carbon tax, which is going to have no effect on global warming climate change. And all it's going to do is raise $700 million, maybe more, in taxes. To fund what? And it makes no sense. I've discussed about this in the past, so check back to my previous video. But the other thing that I caught wind of that the Oregon legislature were going to bring up were some gun bills. And again, in my opinion, gun bills of any kind violate our Second Amendment of our right to bear arms, and that it should not be infringed. And that, I believe, shouldn't take place. We should not be having gun legislation in our country. We have the freedom and the right to bear arms, and that means any firearm produced, that means any accessory for those firearms that are made. We have a right to own those, and there should be no legislation brought against that would affect those purchases of any of those firearms or accessories. That means we should have a right to own a 100-round magazine if we so desire, or a 30-round magazine, or a 10-round. It doesn't matter. We should have a right to own it, because that right should not be infringed. And so that's a good thing that the Oregon Republicans left, because now those gun bills look like they're going to go dead. But it still has me questioning. We already have red flag laws in this state. And there are more and more red flag laws springing up around our country and various states in our country. And I want to know, why is the NRA and its huge budget not going out to fight against these red flag laws, which do one thing: they violate our due process rights. You are viewed as in the wrong, and you have to go and prove yourself in court that you are of sound mind in order to own weaponry. And if you're not aware of what I'm talking about, anybody could report me as having a mental disorder, and all of a sudden I've got the police knocking on my door, confiscating my guns, and I have no right to turn them over. And now I got to go pay for an attorney and pay lots of money to get my rights back and to prove that my mental health is impaired. And that is wrong. I understand wanting to protect people from people who are mentally insane or have a mental deficiency, let's just put it that way, maybe politically correct. They're mentally incapable of thinking properly in the moment. And to protect the citizens from those guys gaining a gun and going out and doing something wrong. But to take away your due process on somebody on a whim filing a complaint, and now the police come in and take your guns, that's wrong every way, shape, or form. And we could do better than that. We could do better than these red flag laws. And now going on to Super Tuesday. Super Tuesday brought about a change. We now have a pool that was once quite large, narrowed down to what I count as about 3. The commie from Vermont, Crazy Uncle Joe, and Tulsi Gabbard. And of those 3, Tulsi Gabbard's the only one that has her head on somewhat right. There's a lot of her policy I don't agree with, but as a whole, she's a lot better candidate than those other 2 fruitcakes. Crazy Uncle Joe can't even keep his words straight, can't even keep his sentences, can't finish his sentences. I mean, for Pete's sakes, he can't even remember parts of the Declaration of Independence. He loses it in the middle of his train of thought. And then the commie from Vermont, who wants to install communism in our country and have government control of everything. So those are who we're left with. So Super Tuesday ends up actually being a big victory for Crazy Uncle Sleepy Joe, who I actually thought wouldn't make it this far. You know, the guy's corrupt. His family's corrupt. They've made millions of dollars off of him. It's just crazy that he's still being allowed to run for president. This guy whose mind seems to be slipping. And I think it's quite sad to see him step up on a stage before a podium every single day throughout the week. And the guy loses his trains of thought. He can't even keep his words straight. And how is he going to run the government? Is it going to be his wife? Is it going to ultimately be his cabinet because his mind's not there and he can't handle it? I don't know. Americans should be considering that this guy who's giving gaffe after gaffe, is that really who we should be looking at for running for president? And then we have the other guy that wants to end capitalism as we know it. How is that a good thing for the American people? And what I don't understand is how the Democratic Party continues to allow him to run as a Democrat. It's quite obvious. He should start his own party called the Socialist Party of America or the Communist Party of America, because he really wants government control of everything in all aspects of our lives. And I can't believe that's taking place. But it looks like some of the Democrats in our country are starting to wake up as votes went to Joe Biden. And it looks like Biden could ultimately get the nomination for the Democratic Party. But again, it makes me wonder, how can he run the government when he can't even keep his words straight? He loses his thought in the middle of a sentence. He stops in the debate and questions why did he stop. He can't finish off the parts of the Declaration of Independence without losing his train of thought. He can't remember who his wife or his daughter is. And more importantly, the guy can't even remember that he's running for the President of the United States. Did you not catch the fact that he said that he's running for U.S. Senate and he wants your vote? I mean, what's going on? To me, it really looks like Joe Biden has got some early onset dementia, and maybe the U.S. citizens should reconsider who they're putting in to run for president. Although I've got a strong feeling the Democratic Party wants him in there so that they could actually run the government and not crazy sleepy Uncle Joe. But those are just my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for taking time to watch my video today. God bless and have a wonderful day. Hi, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch one of my videos. Please hit the like button below, and if you would, hit the subscribe link up here, and take some time to watch one of my other videos. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day. God bless, and take care of yourself.